use Adire? No. We have different materials. So far, the materials is 100% cotton. We have chiffon. We have some chiffon that are cotton material that you can use to make Adire. We have chiffon. We have different other type of materials, but it must be 100% cotton. That's the cross that is there. Then you can use your polo like the one that I'm wearing now. You can use your polo, either white color or any other color. But if you are doing Adire on colored fabric, make sure that the color is light color. I cannot go and buy black fabric now and I say I want to put another color on it. You know that that color will not come out. So if you want to choose color fabric for your Adire, it has to be light color, so that any color that you are putting on it, the color will come out fine. And while choosing your color, there are some things. You don't just, let me just put red, put black, put yellow. There are some things that you consider before putting your color on the fabrics, so that the color will come out nicely. Like if I want to produce a 3-color Adire now, I cannot use red, put pink, put yellow. You know that by the time the clothes will come out, you'll be talking about what kind of. We must look at, you can Google color wheel. You can Google color wheel. If you Google your color wheel, the color wheel comprises of primary color, secondary colors, and tertiary colors. So your primary color, who knows the primary colors? Red, blue, yellow. Then secondary colors, green, orange, purple. So from that primary and secondary color, you can get your tertiary color by mixing one primary color and one secondary colors together. So if you want to look at, okay, I want to use 3 colors now to dye one fabric. I'll first look at, okay, I want to use 3 colors. How will I select my color? You can pick one primary color. Maybe, okay, let me pick red. One primary color. Let me go to secondary color. You know, secondary color, once you mix 2 colors together, it makes it thicker. It's not as light as your primary color. Then you can choose, okay, I've taken red. Secondary color, let me choose green. No, by the time you put red beside green, it goes together, it's harmonized together. Then the third color, you can choose any of the tertiary color to get your colors. Then you can mix this Adire making, it comes with different, it depends on how creative you are. You can decide to create, you can think of, let me mix this thing, let me do a touch of this thing, let me see how it will come out. Then you can just text it. You can use the tip of your fabric to test it, to know how it will come out, then you can use it. It's not necessary that the color they mix from the company is what I must use. No, you can create your own color. So that is that about the color selection. Then, how to prepare your fabric. You should know that when I bought this fabric, it wasn't like this. They will iron it, arrange it, put it inside nylon. So if you go to the market, if you go to the market, the guinea, they will starch it from the fabric from the company that they produced it from. The guinea was starched already. So before you can use it, you have to detach your fabric. We soak it in the water. So I've done that because if I want to come and do it, it will delay us before the clothes will dry. You have to soak it inside water, wash the starch away. Then you have to spread it, allow it to dry. If you want to use it for tie and dye, you might not wait for it to dry completely. But if you are using it for batik, you have to wait for it to dry up completely before you can use it to produce batik. Then when we talk of batik, what's the difference between tie and dye and batik? The difference between tie and dye is that in tie and dye, you tie to resist dye to bring out your design. But in batik, you use candle wax. You melt it. You use candle wax to create the design on the fabric before you dye it. So that candle wax will now resist the dye from penetrating into the design that you make on the clothes. So by the time you dye it, then you de-wax it again. You remove that wax, then the design will now come out. This is how the candle. It's not the normal candle that we. This is how the candle wax is like. Normally sell it in plates, flat like this. like a rectangular shape. So it's like this. You melt it in the fire before you use it. And once you use it, once you remove it from your fabric, you can still reuse it again. Like this one here. Someone asked me that what do you put inside this pot? So this one, I've used this candle wax before. That is why it is colored. So the dye I've mixed with it. I've used this candle wax before. I collected it back from the clothes. So that is why it's like this. So you have your stove. I prefer using stove because if I use someone will say, why don't you use gas? I don't like using gas because the temperature you need to melt your wax should be very, very low. Very, even the stove. Let me show you something. It's not full stuff that is there. I only need these two. Just two like this. So once you melt it, the temperature should be very, very low. You only need this thing just to keep it so that the candle wax will not solidify again. That's the only thing that you need it to. So the candle wax, if it's too hot and you put it on the fabric, it will melt away. All your design will just, and even if it doesn't melt away immediately, by the time you put your fabric inside the dye will penetrate. So everything will just wash away. Everything will come back to one color again. Just be same plain clothes. So then you can for the t-shirts, you can use this runner. Then you can use the normal t-shirts. I believe most of us have seen that one. Normal shirts, button shirts. So far the materials is 100% cotton. You can use it. Then on the t-shirt also, you can do tie and dye on it. You can do batik on it. But for this one, if you want to do batik on this t-shirt, you have to create something inside. Whether you will look for plank that can easily enter this cloth that will separate the front from the back. You cannot lay your fabric like this and be designing on it. The candle wax will melt to the back. It will mess up the back. So you have to separate the front and the back. You put something inside to make it. So by the time we are mixing the colors, we see the proportion because it has a measurement. The proportion you use for dye, if I made like it is usually ratio 1 to 1 to 2, like this. This is my dye. This is my caustic soda. This is my hydrosulfide. So if I'm using 1 spoon of this dye, I will use 1 spoon of of caustic soda. Then caustic soda should be 2 spoons. Your caustic soda cannot be too much. This is the one that will bring the richness of the color. The more your hydrosulfide rather, the more your hydrosulfide is, it will bring out the color. It will make it bright very well. So by the time we are mixing it, you will see it by yourself. Thank you.
Hydrosulfide is 1.5 spoons.
2 spoons. Like it is ratio 1 to 1, then 2. Yes, 1 ratio 1 ratio 2. The dye is 1. Then the caustic soda is 1. Then the hydrosulfide is 2. Then let me just tell us, just tip. If you want to buy Adire outside, some will say that when they give price for Adire, Shebi, I bought one is 5,000. Why is your own 20,000? Let me just give us the tip that is responsible by the difference in the prices of Adire. Number 1 is the materials being used. Know the materials. The quality determines the price of the material. 1. Then secondly, the type of design of the clothes. You can the tie and dye is cheaper than batik because for batik production you need other materials like the candle wax, and it takes longer process to produce than tie and dye. So it's more costlier than tie and dye. Then the third one is the color. If you get to Itoko now, they will tell you, if you say you want to buy Adire, they will ask you, is it 1 color, is it 2 colors, is it 3 colors? So the number of, because the dyes, they are very expensive now. So if it's 1 color design that you want to buy, if you are looking for a cloth of 2 colors design, it will be expensive more than the 1 color design. Then if it's 3 colors, then it will be expensive. Then in batik also, we have freehand design. The one that you just use your hand to design You don't need any. Okay.
Excuse me. What determines the price? The number of color,
The number of colors,
the quality of
the
the clothes,
quality of the clothes,
then the third one.
the third one, the number of colors, then the design.
Okay,
The design, maybe tie and that or what. So for the batik, we have two methods. It is either freehand. If it is freehand, this is what you will use. You do your, we call it stencil. You will do it. You make it like pencil like mouth. By the time I put it inside the candle wax, it will straight down again. So you put it inside the candle wax to warm the mouth. It make it straight. So like pencil. This is what you will use to draw the design on the clothes. That one, it depends on your creativity. You can decide to create any design. That one, it has no restriction that you must do this, you must do it like this. You can try to create any design on your own. It works with your hand and your mind and your brain. So this one. Then the second one, we call it stamping method. This is what we use for stamping method. That stamping method, they've already, the design has been created on the foam like this. We have different patterns like this, of it like this. So this one is that you are not using your hand to create the design. You have already created the design on the foam like this. They used to sell it in the market. So once you have it like this, and you've laid down your Adire fabric. This for this batik, if you want to pre-dye your fabric, you can do that. Maybe you don't want the design to come out in white color. You can first dye this fabric into the color of your choice. You can dye it with one color. You can choose to dye it with different colors. Some Adire will come out like Ankara, that hair. So those ones, you first pre-dye the fabrics into different colors. You can mix it, let the color mix together. Then you now put the batik design on it. So once you put the batik on it, by the time you finish your work, the color you pre-dyed before, the design will bring out that color. Then the last color will now come as background color. So this one, if you want to use this, if you want to use the stamping method like this one, you have to look for a bigger pot. You cannot use this type of pot for that. You have to look for a bigger pot that is wide so that the foam can enter easily. Once you met your wax, you put this one on your candle wax. So once you do it, you now be putting it on the clothes. You'll be putting it on the clothes. You will arrange it very well. So the design will be created on the clothes. Once you know that it's not good again, you return it to the wax and be putting it again until you repeat the same design, the design all over the fabric. That's for stamping method. But we are going to do freehand method today. We are going to do it on this fabric. So thank you. Please, if you are here with, because we are here with your polo, because I don't want us to waste time. If you are, that color is too dark. Eh? If you want to use colored fabric, like that color, that blue color that you are light blue, preferably. But this one we will try purple color on it. We will try deep purple color on it. The way it comes out, you can manage it like that. Yes, let me see. one to melt now, we first increase the fire so that this one will melt quickly. Then we can put it by the side. Yes. This one, because I've used it. Yes. If you want to use this one, once you put your stove on fire, then you put the candle that you want to use, you put it beside the stove for it to melt.
Oh, you want start? Let's start. The mystery.